Welcome back, everyone. It's Melissa Anderson with the JFK Living team, brokered by Keller Williams out of Cherry Hill. And you've made it to video number 3 in my 3-part series, How to Get Into Your First House Ever. Stay tuned for the last 4 steps as I break it down. So you have viewed homes, you've written an offer, it's been accepted by the sellers, you're under contract. What happens next? Well, it's jam-packed the next couple of days, folks. So with your offer, you have offered to put down an earnest money deposit, which is a good faith deposit that you are serious about proceeding with the sale of the home. That will be paid to either the listing broker's office or to the title company. They're going to hold that as a good faith deposit in an escrow account. Now, it's important to understand that with that good faith money deposit, it is due within 5 days of an executed contract. And the sooner we get that over to either the listing agent's office or the title company, the better off we are. So we have earnest money deposit. We also have to make some decisions with regard to home inspection. The home inspection period, who do you want to use for your home inspection? It's something that we're going to want to determine right away so that we can get that scheduled within the allotted time. We have time frames that we need to meet within our contract. We want to make sure that we're moving that forward. So you want to think about, who do I want to inspect the home? Do I want a termite and wood boring insect inspection? Do I want a radon test? Do I want other professionals to come in to evaluate certain systems like the roof, the heating and air conditioning system, the plumbing? Do we want specialized people to come in to inspect certain parts of the house? So those are some things to think about. The other thing that you want to think about is that in New Jersey, you get a 3-day attorney review period. Do you want to utilize an attorney to review the contract on your behalf and represent you throughout the transaction? Now, this is not something that you are required to do, but the contract gives you the opportunity to hire an attorney. My biggest piece of advice during this section or this part of the process is that if you do decide to move forward with an attorney, that you get an attorney who specializes in real estate. And that's critically important. It's just like doctors. There may be a general practice doctor, but then we have people who specialize in certain areas. It's the same thing with attorneys. You want an attorney who specializes in real estate. Again, why is this so important? Well, that person needs to be readily available, making sure they're following the time frame. If they're tied up in court or other things because they're a family attorney, it just may mean a delay within the process, and we certainly don't want that to happen. So hire a real estate attorney, one who specializes in real estate if you're going to go down that path. The other thing that's going to start happening is your mortgage company is going to start the loan approval process. So that starts to go into motion. They're going to order an appraisal of the property. They want to make sure that the property is worth what you have offered to pay for it before they write the loan, right? Only makes sense. Again, that's a third-party process, so that starts happening as well. So that's all in number 7. There's a lot of decisions to be made along with choosing the title company that you're going to use for title purposes. Title does a background check of the property, making sure there are no liens or judgments against the property, that the seller who is selling the property has the right to put the property up for sale, and that no one has a claim to it. So it's kind of jam-packed there, and the next 10 to 14 days, your agent is going to be able to help guide you through that process to make sure we stay on that time frame, which is very important, as it has been stated in the contract that you're going to perform all of these functions by certain dates. Critically important in the process, but that's what I'm there for, is to help guide you through all of that. Tip number 8, or step number 8, and I cannot underscore this enough, and we also talked about this in the pre-approval and you've probably talked about it with your mortgage lender, is do not buy anything or open additional lines of credit during the home buying process. Don't go out and start buying furniture with your Raymore and Flanagan credit card that you just opened up. Don't go and buy a car. Do not make any large purchases, withdrawals from your bank account that cannot be accounted for, that aren't related to the home buying process or a normal transaction process. These are all red flags that can hurt you during the loan approval process with your mortgage lender. If I find out that my client has bought a car, I don't even know what to say. You're not gonna get your house. You just cannot do it, folks. So before you do anything, talk to your agent, talk to your mortgage lender before you do anything. This is a very critical time where your finances are being scrutinized for that loan approval, which is what we want. We want you to get approved for that loan so that you can buy this house. Okay, so now that you've decided you're not gonna do any shopping, it's number 9, which is working with your lender on the mortgage approval process. So during the pre-approval, you've given them a lot of different documents to verify the income that you have. So as they're moving forward with the loan approval, they're going to be asking for additional documentation, and they're going to ask for it numerous times throughout the process moving to closing. They want to verify that nothing has changed, and that includes your employment verification. Do not get a different job during this process as well. Stave that off if you can. So they're going to be verifying income, so make sure you talk to your employer about getting that verification back over to the mortgage lender as quickly as possible. And if your lender is asking you for certain documents or for you to write a letter of explanation on anything, please make that top priority. Get those documents and those letters back, because again, we have a time frame that we need to meet. In the contract, it calls for, if you are applying for a loan, a mortgage commitment date that we need to give to the seller that the mortgage is committing to giving you the loan. So extremely critical that you communicate and that you get those documents over to the lender when they ask you. It seems like a lot, but guess what? It's definitely going to be worth it, okay? So just hang in there, because step number 10 is the closing. Now that's what we call when the buyer and the seller, they sign documents transferring ownership. As the buyer, you're going to be signing a lot of documents that really boil down to you promise to pay your loan payments on time and that you promise to repay the loan. That's what a lot of them are going to be. But before you start signing those documents, you're going to have a final walkthrough of the property with your agent. So as we go through the final walkthrough, we're going to make sure that any repairs that we've requested during the inspection process and negotiated have been completed. We're going to make sure that the inclusions, meaning the things that were supposed to be left behind by the seller, were indeed left behind, and that anything that the seller said they were taking with them, that those have been removed as well. In the state of New Jersey, a property should be swept broom clean and all personal possessions removed unless they were negotiated during the buying process. So we're going to do that final walkthrough. We're going to go to most likely the title company's office. You're going to sign all of the documents related to transferring the deed and ownership from the seller to yourself, including all of your mortgage documents. And here in the state of New Jersey, once you close, you get the keys to your home. There's no waiting period. You get to start living the dream. So it sounds like a lot, but really, with the right guide and the right team behind you, the home buying process, we can help mitigate a lot of the stress and frustration that goes into it. Yes, there's some negotiation. There are definite things that you need to be communicating and doing as the home buyer, but I can help guide you through that. And at the end of the day, 6 months down the road, when you're enjoying your new home, you're not even going to think about the things that you had to go through to buy your first house. So that's the house buying process, folks. I hope you found it informational, and I hope it helped you get started. and helped you wade through all of that information that's available out there. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help you. You can reach out to me, even if you're not ready to buy just yet, but you want to chit chat about how to get there. Send me a text, pick up the phone and call me, DM me on social media. I'd be more than happy to chat with you. I can be reached personally at 609-304-4855. And just remember, this is living, JFK Living.